Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unbox Praise. Sorry, we are a bit late tonight, but we are here now and we are fully loaded. We've got a beautiful guest tonight, and she's loaded to go, you know, so to give us a deeper insight into tonight's topic. And the topic we're looking at tonight is lonely, your blueprint for building deep, meaningful friendship that lasts. Are you lonely? So we want to consider what are those things we can do that will help us build deep, meaningful friendship, the one that lasts. I know that we are all these days in the era we are on social media, you like, you comment, you share, you do all kind of things. But the truth is that how many people actually knows you? How many people actually even remember your name apart from when there is a weird comment? So sometimes we sit in a room full of people, you still feel completely alone, and it's a strange kind of emptiness. That's the kind of thing we want to explore because, for example, if you're in the UK, you know that by 4 p.m. it's already dark. This is the time where people get depressed and so on and so forth. So tonight's topic is really loaded. And so, before we dive onto it, you can see we have a special guest in our midst tonight who is really, really ready for us. And I hope you are ready too. I'm going to briefly introduce her and then she will introduce herself. And then we just go in because we can see that our time is already fast spent. And I want to especially welcome those of you who already joined us. I apologize again for joining us late. I mean, for joining late. So we are honored to have tonight my special guest. Her name is Buki Lewis, and she's a seasoned financial professional who has served as a chief financial officer in the banking sector. She specialized in investment, loans, and strategic financial management. But what makes her special tonight is not just this impressive credential, it is her heart and her passion for empowering people to live purposeful, fulfilling lives, and those that are aligned with biblical principles. So we are really privileged to have you tonight. Welcome. Hello. Can you hear me? I think there's a technical issue again. Can you hear me, our guest? Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, I think she's having an issue hearing us. Um, while she's please, if you can hear me, just interrupt me
Sorry, if you can
anytime.
hear me, I can't
Can
hear
you hear me
anything.
now? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can anybody else hear me? People joining us, can you hear us? If you can hear me, please type something in the comments. Okay, nobody can hear us. Can you type if you can hear us? Okay, nobody is hearing us tonight. It looks like I'm talking to myself. Okay. Good evening, Sister Helen. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me
Hello.
now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. We were struggling, so okay, now just introduce yourself and we are at the point. Yeah, everybody can hear me, but it looks like so just say something to us. I've introduced you. We want you to just introduce yourself and maybe give us a quick your quick thoughts on what you think tonight's topic is going to give us. What's your take on tonight's topic after you introduce yourself because of this technical issue?
Okay. Good
To
evening,
everyone,
everybody.
thank
My
you for
name is
responding. Yeah, I think they can hear us now. Okay, let's go on.
yes, yes. Yes, good evening, everybody. My name is Olubukola Lewis, and
Your voice is
as
very
she
low.
has rightly said, oh dear.
Volume.
Is it better now? Is it better now?
Yes, yes, go on. Just speak louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. My name is Olubukola Lewis. Clearly go by Bookie. And as she has fondly said, my background is in accounting, finance, investments, and savings loans. Generally finance. I'm a relationship person at heart, and I believe in relationship. I love, you know, every good thing about it. Today we are talking about the blueprint for building friendship that lasts. So, and I think today we will examine more of relationship and how to build and how to develop on what we mean by lasting relationships. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that intro. Can people help me type again? Did you hear what she said? Did we all hear her? Did you all hear our guests? I think we are having a bit of but we'll get there in the name of Jesus. We'll do it tonight.
Amen.
So let's just dive into it. Like I've said before, we are talking of relationship, and we know that in today's era where there's a lot of technology, people don't even talk to one another. But first and foremost, what can we say relationship means? What should that be? When you say, oh, building relationship, what does that speak to us? What is that? What's the meaning of that? What are we talking about when we say relationship?
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. Before I go on, I would like to lay some foundations. There are different kinds of relationship, but I would say something that I learned long years ago that what's it called formed the basis of how I see things. We are created to a relationship, human beings. Then without relationship, even Jesus Christ wouldn't have been able to get the gospel to where it is today. So as a human being, relationship is simply connections you have with other people, how you it is how we relate with God and people around us. And it has different branches, it's very dynamic and it's not static. It's something you have to really nurture and look for it. One relationship can be built in different based on different what's it called? Based on different ground. It could be transactional, it could be on what is it called, on covenants, it could be on contracts too. So there are different kinds of relationship. There are relationships that they have to thrive, and there are relationships that don't have to. There are relationships for certain times that you need to know we have to exit this. And the common relationships we talk about, I'll start with our relationship with God first. That's the basis of everything we have to do. God has created us to enjoy him, and also for us to enjoy us too. Then we have different kinds of human relationship, friendships, covenant bonds, community relationship, the office one, the family, the marital relationship. There are different, it can be healthy and it also can be unhealthy. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that intro. So it's connection with people, and like you said, different types. But tonight, because of the first word in this topic, lonely. So we are talking about relationship that could take us from that place of loneliness, a kind of relationship that that we want to build with people that we can surround ourselves with, that will take us out of that loneliness. So I think we can narrow it down to that kind of relationship that we can look around and we know where to turn to, who to talk to, and so on and so forth. But before we come back to that, one important question I want to ask is that many people feel so lonely. Can you still hear me? Can you
Yes,
still hear
very well,
me?
ma.
Yes. Many people feel
Yes.
very, very lonely. We in church today, someone told us that there was a woman in this UK who left a suicide note, and the person left a suicide note, and what was in that note was that nobody has been speaking to me. Nobody even says hi to me. Nobody checks on me. I'm going out today. If somebody says hello to me, I'm going to come back home. I'm not going to commit this suicide. But if nobody says hi to me, nobody says hello to me, I'm just going to go ahead and commit the suicide. And of course, he committed that suicide. That was how they entered and saw that note. So that is loneliness. That is being forgotten or being neglected or not having relationship. So many people feel this lonely. Us Christians in particular, we feel lonely, but we like to have activities like we go to church, we do every kind of thing, but we are still lonely. So I want you to tell us, what do you think causes this kind of loneliness, where people will be in the middle of a crowd and yet they are still feeling very lonely? What can we say are the causes of this?
Thank you very much, ma. I would start by trying to define loneliness. And I've looked about it all around, and I'll bring it to one point. Loneliness is simply lack of direction. Loneliness is lack of direction when your purpose is missing. You find it difficult to connect. If you have direction, let me start speaking it generally. Loneliness is a feeling. It's something is a feeling. Before it comes as a feeling, then you would have to give thought to it and name it. I think we understand that. You have to have been thinking about it. People mix loneliness with being alone. You can be alone and not lonely.
Mm,
They mix solitude for isolation. No, it is not the same thing. So when you loneliness, it's a feeling, is a and it's as a result of emptiness or being filled. If I bring this cup to you now, you have a lot of water in it. It's been there for so long, it's not having an exit point. It's going to become stale. It starts smelling. Loneliness can be like that. When you have a lot bottled up inside of you, you are not sharing, you begin to feel isolated. You begin to think they don't understand me, they don't want me. Then it can be a cry for connection. You are empty. Is a sign of emptiness. You are looking for where to connect to. You don't know how to go about it. But I would always say loneliness is not solitude. Loneliness is not being alone. You can be alone and not be lonely, but you can never be lonely and not be alone. So it is a sense. Nobody will give that to you. It's a feeling. Nobody will name it. You will name it and find it. And then two, activities does not take away loneliness. You can be in the midst of a crowd very lonely. Because your thoughts have carried you to feel you are not wanted. You've carried that thought in you. You are full or you are empty. You don't know how to connect. There's no exit or inflow into you to fill it up. So the Bible even talks about it, you know, because if you go into the Bible and find out the number of times God has promised you that you will never be alone, you will be shocked. There are a lot of fear not, and beside most of the fear not, it says, I am with you. I am always with you. My peace I give to you. These are these are ways we can connect and know that, oh, the first thing that starts that loneliness starts from is you carry a thought, something happens, you isolate yourself a bit. Isolation now doesn't mean you live alone in a lot of places. Isolation starts from your thoughts. When you start cutting yourself from people you connect to. One of the things I would say is that the seed of loneliness starts from the gift of malice. When you start keeping malice with people or people around you, I think you should check yourself. There'll be a point in that day where you will feel lonely. And the thought progresses. She does not like me, she's hurt me, he's hurt me, he said this to me. Then you begin to internalize it. Then as a man thinks, So is he. The person who said, "Oh, I'm going out today. If nobody greets me, I'm going." What stops that person from saying, "I'm going to go out today and greet everybody I see. I'm going to go out today and just smile." So I would say it again. That loneliness is lack of direction, is a feeling of emptiness, is a cry for connection. And loneliness is not solitude, is not being alone. Thank you, ma.
Okay. Thank you. So I think one thing that you said that makes sense is that sometimes it's not about the other people around you. You yourself, something inside you is isolating you. There is something, why, like you rightly said about that person, what stops him from going out and saying hello to somebody and see whether they will respond? And of course, you mentioned about the malice, when you have maybe unforgiveness, you don't want to talk to somebody because maybe you feel too special than the other people, or it could be a lot of reasons. But I think the good news is that as Christians, God has or as well promised us that He will never leave us. But it depends on if we now understand it. So, leaving that a little bit, I'm going to ask you, why do you think even somebody who can go out, who wants to talk to people, because even families, you see, you have siblings of four, three of them are not talking to each other. You have, family of, two. You can see that they will not even be talk. Maybe some people, if you ask them when is the last time you checked on your sister or even your parent, we see maybe as a result of malice or most of these things you've said. Therefore, why do you think it's meaningful? Why do you think meaningful relationships seem harder to build in today's world? Why is it difficult for us, whether you are a Christian, whether you are any normal human being? Why is it difficult to build lasting relationship in today's world, especially?
Thank you, ma. I just remember what some of the things I wanted to say. That I'm going to give us example of people who were lonely in the Bible and how they overcame it. At a point, Jesus was lonely, you know, and he cried out. He made the cry, even he was surrounded by people. But I would go back to what you said, that relationships, there is no blueprint now for building relationships. Relationships is not rigid. There are no rigid steps. There are no 1, 2, 3. Build your relationship this way, this and this. Relationship is cultivated habits that deepens. It deepens into connection. It's a cultivated habit. Like you say, you have people in the same family. They don't talk. They don't. It was built. It didn't just happen in a day. It has its own foundation, because most of the times we have relationship before you can have relationship with somebody else. So it's built, there's always a common ground that brings us together. One, I'm going to talk about values and I'm going to talk about loyalty in relationships. Now, before you can connect with somebody or build relationship with them, you need to have connected. Now, let's take family for example. The basis and the function that, oh, we were found ourselves in a common ground, which is the family, gives room for us to start building the shared experiences of living together. Now, we have to be careful how we build on it, how we build on that foundation that we have. You have friends who, you have people you meet on different places too. The people you meet at what's it called? The relationship you have with people you have in the office is called your colleagues. That's a kind of relationship. The one you have with people you meet at the supermarket, your customers, is client base. The one you have at home with people you have bloodlines to is called family. The one you have in church, that is how we big communities and everything. For you to move from that transactional place now, I can be kind to you, talk to you because you are my family. It doesn't mean I have a relationship with you. It doesn't mean I connect with you. Because to really build on the common ground that we have now, we need to be able to trust ourselves, rely on each other, be consistent. growth together, be vulnerable, not being scared now. All these things I've said is going to be built on trust, which will not happen immediately. It's gradual. It builds bit by bit, bit by bit. Trust grows when actions, is consistent with what we say. Your trust will continue to grow when your actions is consistent with what you have been saying. In building friendship, when you place a value on your relationship with people, it's always going to be transactional. It's not going to be deepened. When you can build, oh, my friendship with this person is when when I need to go to work. That relationship will not grow, even if sometimes you about it. It's going to be based on support, skills, and resources. But when you are talking of building lasting relationship, it starts with commitment, you know, your principles align. You are open. You are not scared to be in that person's territory. They are not scared to be in your territory. So value without loyalty is transactional. Then loyalty without value sometimes is blinding. So you will start by having value, then take it a step further. You build on it. It's virtue based. For you to have a lasting friendship or relationship with people, it's going to be value. It's going to be virtue based. It's going to be. It's not necessarily going to be wholesome from the beginning, but as you grow in it, it's going to be. It's going to be a place where you grow together with each other. So when you say, oh, you have family members who don't talk to each other, it didn't start in a day. One, look at their if they have shared moments, look at their virtues, look at their connection, look at what they feel together. Are they able to talk to them? Are you able to say, oh, brother, you did this to me, I don't like it? And the person say, oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't know it was going to hurt you. I saw it this way. When you do things like that, you begin to grow and grow. It is not, is in sustained effort. It's not in occasional intensity. Yes, that's what I would say, because I've had friends that have been my friends since the 90s, since I was a teenager, over friendship, spanning and keep growing, even when we are not in the same place. And I looked at it, like I said, it's a sustained effort. It's not once in a while I meet you at the bus stop and we talk, I've done this, I've done that. Thank you.
Yes, I think you've explained, you've gone deeper into the topic itself. But one thing I want us to go back on, which you have mentioned many times as well, is that issue of trust. I personally believe that not trusting one another makes it difficult to build any relationship. And like you said, if relationships are always transactional, then maybe the time when transaction doesn't go well, we cut that relationship off somehow. So what, as Christians in particular now, why are people, why is it difficult for us to trust one another? Because let's not dodge the fact that in the practical sense of view, people are very difficult to trust. As a matter of fact, I don't know whether you have had that kind of conversation where people will say church people are the worst people to trust. Church people are the worst people to commit anything into their hands, or to tell your secret, or to tell your what is troubling you in your mind. Because part of loneliness, like you rightly tried to describe, is that once I'll be in somewhere, I have a thought in me, I want to share something, I don't want to keep it. But when I look around me, I just see hypocrites everywhere. I just see people who are not genuine, not because I feel so, it's because I know so, because I've experienced, I've been disappointed, I've been betrayed. You know what I mean? So how do we navigate this part? Because once I start losing trust in people, then I become isolated, isn't it? And one way or the other, I begin to bottle up things. So I want you to, you know, tell us more about that. How can we start to, because it's not about who that friend is, it's about me as well, isn't it? How can we make sure that we are all working on this trust issue in a way that we can save more lives, we can bring happiness and joy to more lives.
Thank you, ma. Uh, we cannot talk of lasting relationship without trust. Then you would remember I started by saying before you can build a lasting relationship, you need to connect first. Then when you come to trust and reliability, it grows when what you say matches your action consistently. Now, as Christians, we when most of us go to church, we forget that church is a gathering of people who are trying to be like Christ, not people who are already like Christ. We let our guards down. Do you understand? We throw away um testing to know if this is true or not. You don't just go to a place because of the common ground, which is the church, and start talking to everybody. You need to be led. Even when you are afraid, when you think very well about it, there's an aspect of trust that makes you vulnerable. There's an aspect of thought that uh, allows you feel, oh, I can go into this person's space and they shouldn't hurt me. That is your own expectation. It necessarily doesn't mean that is what the person is. So now what I will say to us is, first, we are encouraged to trust the Lord. Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. When you come into a gathering like the church, let your trust in God guide you first. That's one. Two, you need discernment. Yes. You need to have connected and test. You need discernment before you start talking to people. Don't forget, you come into the church, different background, different people. But what you see every Sunday, we put on our best. Doesn't mean that is who we are every day. You need to have known the person before you can. It's like you coming into the church and you have a bag of gold and cash, and because so is the church, the next person you see, you say, take, is my hold it for me. That's 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 not a wise decision. That's the way we should treat our heart, because when you talk about trust, it has to do with your heart. It is not a planning. It's when you trust somebody, you have surrendered a part of yourself to them. You are trusting them with something a part of you that you might not get back. That is why it hurts deep. That is why you say, oh, I've been backstabbed, I've been this. So before you talk to anybody, you should ask yourself, can I trust this person with my life saving? Can I can I trust this person with taking care of my life? Because trust itself is a virtue. When you want to give trust to someone, you have to be able to get it. When you want to trust somebody, you must be able to beyond reasonable know that I can always trust these people. I've had an experience where excuse me, when you go to some pastors in church, I remember then they'll say, oh, don't talk to this pastor, wait for the other pastor to come. If you talk to him, before you know it, the cell meeting, everybody will know what you're saying. You understand it? And you have some people, they'll say, oh, I trust them. You can talk to them. They've been tested over time. We've seen it. And I would always say, if you don't connect with a person based on virtue, these are simple steps. If you don't connect on them based on virtue, time, and what you have done, please don't trust them. Don't trust them with a part of you. Carry on with suspicion and be open-minded.
Be open-minded. Thank you. What one thing that you said that makes sense there is that before you start trusting people and connecting with people, connect with God first. And so, one thing I like to say is that you check yourself first as well, because when we say people, we are part of the people as well. So, are you trustworthy yourself? And I think one thing I want to say to everybody is that let's begin to work on ourselves as well. Because this relationship, God created us and placed a value on us. So that value that God has placed on us, because the Bible says He made us in His own image, that's a big value, the
Mhm.
highest that anybody can have. So We are all made in God's image, and therefore He placed the value on us. Can we talk about the shallow kind of friendship or relationship that people do? So, if, like you mentioned, something transactional, maybe that is why people are being left down and quickly to say, oh, that person is not trustworthy, because you are moving closer to somebody because you are expecting someone in return, or you are moving closer to somebody because you know that when I need a job, that person can give me a job, or that church can give me a job because the pastor is a medical doctor, the pastor is a CFO, and so on and so forth. What can we begin to see, or what would be your advice to people who build relationship? And because when the time comes, then when they go to that CFO or that pastor or that doctor and say, oh, he's my friend, because they've been chatting and talking, he's my friend, oh, can you give me a reference, can you make a reference for me? And the person say, I don't know you, sorry, I can't do the reference. And then they go ahead and spread it that, oh, they betrayed me or they disappointed me. What's your take on this shallow kind of relationship, and how can we start moving away from that to a God intention about relationship? And
Okay.
people, please contribute to this topic. um Type your questions, type your contribution. I'm sure you are hearing us, so we would like to hear from you and the questions as well. So go ahead and tell us about this shallow type of relationship that is not lasting.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Um, when we talk about shallow friendships and relationships like that, I started talking by saying there are two ways you can define relationship. Define relationship is value or loyalty based. So when you can place a value on your relationship or on your on your loyalty to someone, then it's transactional. It will not grow beyond that transaction, to not grow beyond the level of that transaction. There's no loyalty required. There's no virtue or character required in it. One of these, I like the example of the reference you gave. People feel that by proximity to you, they are your friend. They feel, oh, we see every day. I would like to explain something to us. You have different names for different relationships so that you don't get confused, so that you
Hmm.
can know what level and the pedestal to place this on. See, you have a neighbor. That is why you are not meant to call them friends. They are neighbor. You have acquaintances. That is why you're not meant to call them friends. You have colleagues. You have clients. You have people you see randomly. You have your children. It's a form of relationship too. So now to really deepen this relationship and have connections with them, you have to know people who can be in your life but not in your heart. You need to know this. Oh, this person does not connect with me on this. When I see this person, we're always talking about other people. Is that awesome? No. So I have a test that I do for my thoughts and my relationships too. It has helped me to put everything where it is so I don't get to mix them up. It's in Philippians. It says, if any thought is worth this, carry on with it. You look at it. Is it honorable? Is this loyal? Is this peaceful? Is this worth talking about? It's what I call the thought test. It's also what I call the relationship test. So you look at yourself. Someone that calls you only when they're in trouble. You should know
Hmm.
that that kind of person, when you call them in trouble, they might not really come true for you. Your relationship to them is emergency build.
Hmm.
You know that. Then someone who calls you when they are going to the market is your market body. It's only price of goods and services you will bond on. Someone who someone who calls on you,
Your
check
screen
on
is
you.
going out, in and out.
Sorry, it's a phone call. I had to end it. It's family checkup time today. So someone who goes to the market with you, or someone who goes to parties with you necessarily don't have anything in common other than just transaction, other than that. So see friendship as a gift. See it as a relationship. Don't throw it out. Don't say, okay, because I see them every day or because they give me money. The fact that I give you money or food does not mean I have that connection with you. The fact that I see you in Sunday on church or you work in church does not mean I really know you to write a reference for you. Because when you are writing a reference, it is the Yoruba word I would say now. Sorry, and I'll try to interpret it as much as possible. You are giving Oshe Ileri. That means you have priced a portion of your head on it.
Mm,
I don't think I don't think there's an exact English word for that. That a portion of your own head has been priced on whatever you give. So to build lasting relationship, not just shadow ones, you need to look at how consistent you are and the person is with you, how present they are in your life. You know, initial in at earlier on, I said it's through sustained effort. It's not occasional intensity. It's not back, 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 back. We've seen, we'll do this, we shout, we'll go. No, once you leave that place, you've forgotten about what you said or the person. Then it has to be balanced. Friendship or relationship where one is always giving and not receiving, someone is always giving you and not receiving back, it's not balanced. It's going to tilt one day or the other. You need to have shared experience. You need to have created memories together and also allow space for you to grow.
mm,
You should look at that person. Some people would, that's why I say something. Some people can stay in your heart, they can be there, they can be in your life. Do you understand it? But they are not in your heart. Some can be in your life every day you see them, but they have no space in your heart. You know, the person who is in your life day to day, you see them more. But the one in you carry in your heart, you will pray for them. You will think about them. You want to talk to them. You want to see them. Even when you don't see them, you carry them. You sit down suddenly, remember what they've said and laugh. Somebody who is in your life randomly, you see every day, said something, oh, you've forgotten. 2 days after you see them, you remember it. So I think these relationships are built. They're not something that will drop on you. It's not something that will
mm,
just happen. And the lasting one is not forced. It's easy for you to
mm,
connect. Easy for you to carry yourself along.
mm. Thank you. I think yeah, we are about to be rounding up, but there's something in the Proverbs 17:7. I mean 17, I think verse 17, where the Bible talks about um is a friend at all times. A friend loves at all times. You know, a friend loves at all times. And you've also mentioned parts of that. So, what in practical terms, how can we begin to encourage one another to support people? Because, like you rightly mentioned many times, relationships are built and it is built on something. You get to know people over time because of something, you know, somehow behavior are tested, characters are tested, loyalty are tested, and everything. But as Christians, and because of the purpose of this topic as well, how do we genuinely begin to show love to people, especially people who are going through difficult season, even though we don't understand their struggle? Because some people, because they don't trust you enough, they don't want to share all their problems with you, bam, like that at once. But because we are godly people, we are called to love, you know, and to be our brother's keeper. How can we begin to show this genuine love without necessarily interfering in their personal or private life? You know, even when we don't understand what they are going through. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma. I would I would say some relationships are contracts, some relationships are covenants. Even the bond that keeps you is deeper than just an ordinary agreement. Those kind of the relationships are what we've spoken about. Now, you can be with showing love to people who are in need or who need help. Starts by the example that was given to us from Job's friend. Do you know the Bible said they sat with him. Initially, they didn't talk, they didn't judge him. I'm going to take just that part for us. When you see people going through grieve or loss or need comfort, the best thing you can start is one, you can't tell people how to grieve. You can't tell people how to go through that process, but you can show them that they are not alone. Now, you are not carrying their load. You are not carrying the pain. You might not understand it, but you can't. Your presence only, even if you don't know what to say, is the number one comfort you can give. You can be there and you pray. The best form of care you can receive, I would always
Mm,
say it, is prayer. The best line to show that, oh, or the best gift you can give to a person in pain is your
mm,
presence. Your presence, be there. So, because I've also been in some difficult times in life, and sometimes the people around me who don't talk the most, who are there, who are people I've known for long. Do you understand it? Knowing they are there is a kind of comfort on its own. Then you can give. When I say giving now, it's not just about giving money. You can give your time. You can loving is a decision. Is a decision to give, to care
mm,
for, to nurture, to comfort, to hold, and not to judge. Because most of the time we are quick to judge, and we also always, most of the time, expect love to be a transaction. I love you, you should do this back to me. No, it's not give and take like that. Your love now, you should know that your love is an extension of God in you to those people. So you are responsible first to God in giving
mm,
love. Your
mm,
basis of judging how you give love should be how
mm,
God loved you without
mm,
judging. And when you give it, you should look to God also to replenish you, because you
mm.
can give, give, give and get tired. But when you see God now directing you, helping you to love, then you stand balanced, and you can help people
You
nurture
can
and
help
grow.
other people. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
I think that's very deep as well. Yes. We have to, the measure of love we give to people is to remember that God actually loved us that much. He loved us that without even, how much can we even give God for every of his
So,
love and attention? I think that's a deeper, that's a very, very deep word. So, my last question, I think okay, somebody has asked the question, but I'll ask that after this, my last question. So, what advice have we got for people or someone, like I said before, on a daily basis, when you are talking to somebody, they are groaning, they are complaining about their sibling, their marriage, their husband, their wife, their colleagues everywhere. But because of this program, somebody might just, listen to this. So because of all this lack of trust, envy, all different kind of things, some relationships have been broken. They were good relationship in the past, they were good with one another, but that relationship is being broken. That friendship has been hurt or broken. And uh we are hoping that God expects us to forgive one another and let whether relationship can be restored with love. So what advice do you want to give to someone who is hurting right now, whose friendship has been broken, whose friendship has been hurt? What advice as our last question tonight? Yeah.
okay, thank you, ma. I think um the first thing I will say is that if you are hurting, forgive, be kind on yourself first. Be kind on yourself. You have the right to hurt, but you don't what you call hurting until you see it through the other person's lens. You really don't know how they feel about it or what they think. So what actually makes us hurt is our expectations. If
Mm,
you build your expectations around something and it doesn't go that way,
mm,
then you hurt, you have the pain. So if that pain comes or when it comes, it's always good to know I'm in pain, but sit down within yourself and say, this hurts me. Fine. I'm going to take care of it this way. The best way is always forgive yourself. Leave room for them to explain themselves. Leave room for them to explain themselves. And don't judge them based on your own expectations. You can never, you never know what how the weight they carry
Hmm.
looks like. They might carry a Ghana must go bag, and you think, oh, it's heavy, but actually it's light. So you never can tell. So the first thing you would do if you're in pain is to be kind to yourself. Pray about it. I stress it a lot. I would always say that depend on God to help you heal. Depend, don't say, oh, all this mantra, oh, we help those who help us, we do this and that. When you begin to do that, you're creating a ceiling for yourself. You won't grow above that ceiling. And we are created for relationships. There are different relationships as per the levels and stages we go through in life. Some friendships are good, but they don't meet where you are growing to right now. It doesn't mean they are bad, and it doesn't mean those people are bad. It's you that has grown. It's like the more you go, the more you build relationship, and you know some relationship will grow with you. Some will depend on you to grow. You are the one that will carry them. Some,
Hmm.
as you've grown, you will leave them. They will branch out.
Okay.
So what I want to say is, it's always good for us to have a forgiving heart and to know what a relationship is and what it should not be. You can have good siblings, but they might not, you might not need them as much as the friend you met somewhere.
Hmm.
You would always connect with other people. If we don't connect with other people, we wouldn't be married. And most times we trust our spouses more than our than our siblings,
Hmm.
because you are
Hmm.
creating something for yourself. So it's like that. Then you should know when a relationship moves from being contract or transactional to covenant. A covenant relationship is not going to be, is never stagnant. Is never going to be stagnant. It's multi-dynamics, and you understand it and continue to grow. So
Hmm.
I think when you feel a friend betrayed you or a friendship has ended, you should look at it. It necessarily doesn't mean it is bad. It's just a case of growth and rebirth happening to us.
Hmm. And I think that's absolutely true. One thing I want to add to that as well is that if you are going through a broken relationship right now, especially family, siblings, you cannot throw them away. I
Yeah.
think you need to look at things from God's point of view as well. Like our guest already mentioned, not all relationships are bad, and not every relationship will grow with you where you are going. So sometimes you need to be kind to yourself to forgive them. You might not, have the kind of, transaction, because most of the time it's about, you used to do this for me, it doesn't do it now, and all of that. And we need to really trust God and really, really know that sometimes we'll be accountable unto God for some of these relationships as well. So if you are a husband, you are a wife, and the relationship is going somehow, ask yourself, what will God do? What will Jesus do in this situation? So let's pray about it. Let's forgive people and let's give room, for people to express maybe themselves and not just be keeping malice, because that's when you begin to go against God's law as well. When you are hot, you are keeping malice, you are not forgiving people, you are bitter, and sometimes you even make your health, you create a kind of adverse bad thing on your own health. May God deliver every one of us in Jesus name. So I
Amen.
have two questions from, just one actually. um Sister Alice said, how can we tell, because you said something about trust earlier on, how can we tell if our friend really trusts us? I think we have like 1 minute to answer that question. How can we how can we tell if our friend really trusts us? Because we want to trust them, but sometimes they are not trusting us. How can we tell if this person actually trusts us? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Trust is not, I can know who I trust. I might not be able to know who trusts me. By virtue of our relationship, you can call someone your friend and they are not friends with you. So when you see people trust you, they share, they confide in you, they, they rely on you, this behavior is consistent. It's not just, oh, once in a while. And it's not just by that. The body language even speaks about it too. They are vulnerable in your space. And
Comfortable.
yes, it's built with time, because they've seen you say things, they've seen you do things, and they know that I can rely on this person. But you can trust your friend, but you can't force your friend to trust you.
To
You
trust
should
you. Yeah.
you should know yourself for who you are.
Mm.
Until they come to that place, they can trust you but not feel comfortable with telling you deep things.
Mm. Thank you
So
very,
it's
very
like
much for all
that.
of those. Thank you, Sister Denike Padiola. Yes, thank you for joining us. And a lot of people are saying, Mubalaji do sorry can't meet up tonight. We appreciate everyone joining. You can go back and listen. But I think the important thing here is that one thing I personally like is that connection with God and that guidance with God, because you can't be friend with everybody. But when you trust God to guide you to your friends and relationship, you are never going to go wrong, because you can discern when somebody just wants to come and use you, or when somebody actually are interested in you, they appreciate who you are for whom you are. In this case, there's not going to be any judgment. Finally, in 1 minute, can you give us your last word? What will you want people to go home with out of everything that's been said today? What's that one thing in 1 minute? Because we are going, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, everyone who has called in to listen. What I'm going to say is that you are not a true friend, or you don't have a true relationship until you build one with God. You don't have a true relationship, a model for relationship, until you have one sustained growing with God. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you very much. Thank you so, so much for coming. Um, and we really appreciate your depth of, of this conversation. And I think people actually enjoyed it as well, especially when they go back and listen from the beginning. And we are so sorry for that technical, whatever we can call that at the beginning. So thank you for being on Unbox Praise, and God bless you, and multiply everything that your time tonight. We really, really appreciate it, and we value it very much. God bless you. And to everybody
Thank you,
that
Ma.
joined us, thank you for joining us. And we just pray that God is going to heal anyone that is hurting right now, anybody going through challenges in their relationship. But we are calling you to come and trust in God first, connect to God, surrender to God, and He will guide you, and you yourself be a better person. Just stand in the gap, be someone that somebody wants to love, somebody wants to trust. And until next week, when we come with another powerful topic, we are saying good night and have a lovely week ahead. And thank you, Sister Buki. God bless you. Bye. Bye-bye.
And you will never ever change. You are the Lord, you remain the same. It's a simple chorus. You will never ever change. You are the Lord, you remain the same. Help me sing. You will never, 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 never. You are the Lord. Let your name be glorified. Oh, you will never, 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 never. You